Hello everybody. In this video, we are going to talk about a particular class in Java. It's a built-in class and it is known as the object class. So what is this object class? Now, anything in Java that you create has to be inside a class. Everything is an object. So when you write a program which has only, let's say it only has a main function, that also has to be enclosed inside a class. So at the top of this class hierarchy, there is a particular class known as the object class. As I said, this is a built-in class, so it is already defined in the package java.lang. And this class, implicitly, it becomes the superclass of all classes in Java. So if I have created a class called, say, employee, okay, which is not inheriting from anywhere, by default, okay, implicitly, this class will inherit from the object class. So you don't have to write the keyword extends. It is implicit. This inheritance is implicit. So let us see what is there in the object class. So as mentioned, it is present in the java.lang package, and the name of the class is object with a capital O. And every class in Java, directly or indirectly, it extends the object class. Now this object class has got certain methods which can be overridden if required by your other class. So let's see some of these. The first method is a toString method. The toString method in the object class, what it does is that it takes whatever object you are talking about. When we try to print it using system.out.println or system.out.printf, okay, it prints that object as a string. So we will see in a program what happens. Then there is another important method called the equals method. So the equals method will compare the object that you pass as argument here and the current object. And if they are equal, then it returns true. It returns a boolean, you can see. It returns true if the two objects are the same. Now what I mean by same is that they refer to the same memory location. That is what is done by the object class equals method. And lastly, there are other methods also. I'm going to talk about the hash code method. So the hash code method, what happens usually, the JVM, whenever an object is created, it is allocated some memory. It assigns a unique code to that object, and this is known as the hash code of that object. So int hash code will return the hash code value of this particular object. So these are some of the methods that are there in the object class, and they have their default implementation. Now, if you want to override these methods, then what should we do? Let's see that. So here I have a program which has two objects. We have created two objects, obj1 and obj2. Both are objects of the object class, and we are printing the values. So obj1 and obj2. So when we are printing these objects as a string, remember this is the println function, so it is printed as a string. So then the object classes toString method gets executed. Okay, so the toString method gets executed, and this is the output that we get. So if you see, the first thing that is printed is the name of the class. So java.lang is the package name and object is the name of the class. So for these two objects, the class is object. Similarly for the second one also, same class, object. Then comes @ symbol. So first is object name, class name, @ symbol, and then comes the hexadecimal value of the hash. So 85EDE7B, this is the hexadecimal hash value of object 1. And similarly, this is the hexadecimal value for the hash value for the second object too. So this is what happens in the when you try to print an object as a string. The toString method, the default implementation gets executed. So you get something like this. Just note the point that both the objects, they have different memory locations. That's why they have different hash values. If they were referring to the same object, they would have the same hash value. This is another program. Here also we have two objects, B and C. Again, we are printing the objects. Now we are testing the equals method. So we are testing it with the equality operator. So we are comparing. If B is equal to C, then it should print the objects are same, else it should print the objects are different. So B is equal to C, this equality operator, this calls the equals method of the object class. So the equals method, what it does is that if the two objects have the same hash value, then they are equal, otherwise they are not equal. So here both the objects, both are B and C are different objects, they have different hash values, as you can see from the output which is printed. So this condition is false, so it prints the objects are different. So this is the equals method. Now both the equals and the toString method, both of these, when we try to use it with other objects, okay, these are inherited by the by any other class that we create. So this is again another example where now you can see B and C now refers to the same object. So C is assigned the value of B. So C is also referring to the same object. So you can see from the output they have the same hash value and it is showing that the objects are the same. So now in this class point, we have a class called point with two data members x and y, both are doubles, and it has a constructor. Now if I have only this much, then when I try to print objects of type class or objects of class point, it is the default implementation of toString which gets executed. Now remember, the point class implicitly inherits from the object class. So whatever methods are there in the object class are also there in the point class. So point class will also have the toString method which it inherits from the object class. Similarly, it will have the equals method, it will have the hash code method, all these methods. But if I just use those methods, suppose I want to print a point and I would like to show that x coordinate is this and y coordinate is this. Now if I try to print, then I will get something which is of the same form as we had seen in the previous example. That means if I try to print an object of type point, in that case I will get the name of the class, @ and hash code. Okay, so it will have no meaning. They will become meaningless to run the toString method or the equals method or any other method for that matter. So what we can do is we can override these two methods in our class point. So we give our own implementation in the point class. So you can see out here public string toString. Okay, what does it return? It returns a string of this type now. X equal to then string dot value of x. So here x is a double, so it is converting it into a string and returning it. Then y equal to value string dot value of y. So the value of y is converted into string and sent. So I should get something like x equal to some value, y equal to some value. So this, when it should execute, when we call the toString method of the point class. So the toString method of the object class is overridden by this implementation in the point class. Similarly, the equals method of which it has inherited from the object class can be overridden. So here we have overridden. Now we are not looking at the same, whether it is the same memory location or has the same hash code. We are looking at it as if for point P1 it is x value are same and y values are same. So if x values are same and y values are same, then we say that the 2 points are the same or they are equal. So let's test this out. So here I have 2 points P and Q, 2-point objects P and Q, and you can see they have the same x and y values. So here we are trying to call printing point P, and we have printed P. So if you can recall, the toString method gets executed when you try to print the object as a string. So if the overridden method was not there in the point class, then the default execution would have taken place. Okay, but we already have overridden that method, the toString method, in the point class. So now the point class toString method gets executed. Similarly for the second one. And same way we are now testing for equals. So if P dot equals Q, so P is the first object, Q is the second object. So if P equals Q, if this returns true, then print that the points are same, else print that the points are different. So the output that we will get is going to be something like this. So printing point P, it is printing now not the hash value, not the hash code. It is printing x is equal to this, y is equal to this. Same for Q. And because both are two different, P and Q are two different objects, they have different hash codes, but it is printing that the points are same because we had overridden the equals method in the point class. So this is the object class. So just to summarize, everything is every object or every class in Java implicitly inherits from the object class, and the object class has some useful methods which per se are not useful. If you don't override it, it is not useful, but you can override these methods in your own class so that they become useful for you. So the main methods we had discussed today are the toString method and the equals method. So that is all about your object class.